Songbirds greet you. Their sound echoes off the red rocks, the one never-changing feature here. Everything else, from grasses to gamble oak, grow, flourish, then die back. Part of this cycle of renewal used to include fire, until people arrived. Now a century of fire suppression creates an unnatural buildup of flammable fuels. Roxborough Park is a special place to live, but it requires special care.
The threat is real.
Pictures.
This family rushes to pack their prized possessions.
Got cash, credit cards.
Sue Hines and her husband Larry,
Some snacks and some water.
with their children Sam and Emily, are leaving their Roxborough home in a hurry.
All right.
They're volunteers in an evacuation drill.
Last name, please. Larry and Sue?
Of course, Max comes along too.
Engine 39, brush 39, engine 43, brush.
This mock evacuation is one phase of a massive training exercise.
Brush 47, tender 131.
30 fire departments from up and down the Front Range
Respond, rain dance trail, moss rock run, on a wildland interface fire.
converge on Roxborough Park.
All units respond on red southwest.
Here are more than 200 firefighters from as far away as Boulder and Colorado Springs. All know Colorado is capable of hot, dry, windy weather.
We have to be on our toes. At any point, we could be facing a wildland fire.
Fran Santagata supervises the exercise as head of Douglas County Emergency Management. She explains Roxborough Park was selected for two reasons. The park has the potential for wildfire, but also because residents here are actively involved in reducing the risk.
We probably cleared close to a half an acre of scrub oak.
Tom and Rhonda Hanch joined a neighborhood effort to remove overgrown brush and dead trees away from their homes. The Hanch property is adjacent to Colorado State Park land. With permission from state parks, the couple paid to expand their clearing project onto the nearby public property. They've planted native grasses and say they prefer having a meadow in their backyard now.
This is masticated.
They also like the new defensible space.
The fire was a big part of it, and we figured if we could get a break coming down from the mountain and a break coming up from the neighborhood, that could give us a good chance of surviving a wildfire.
The Hanches live on Totem Run. This street is chosen for the structure protection part of the fire training exercise.
You're going to drive up last, and you're going to position yourself in this turnaround for an added water supply.
Totem was selected because it's a narrow, steep climb up a wooded hillside. This potentially flammable environment is typical of challenging conditions faced by wildland firefighters.
Go ahead. I just want to confirm you've moved to structure number 3 now.
Engines are positioned in driveways.
When I bump them,
With the clock ticking, crews must figure out the best way to defend each home, as if real flames were approaching.
Probably as soon as it gets right down into the valley, if it gets down the valley, we're pulling. We'll spray all this stuff down.
Good morning.
This is a chance for residents like the Hanches to see firsthand what's involved in protecting their homes.
Life safety is the first priority.
This is the fire.
Because of the neighborhood brush clearing effort here, the steep hillside will be easier to defend against wildfire.
The cooperation on Totem Run here has been excellent, with neighbors working with neighbors, and they've really been able to reduce this fuel load.
Lieutenant Kevin Centolo was assigned to West Metro Fire Station 15 at the entrance to Roxborough Park. He says homeowner attitudes changed following the massive Hayman fire of 2002. The biggest wildfire in Colorado history never reached Roxborough Park, but its sheer size posed a direct threat to this foothills community.
When Hayman came through, I think that was the big wake-up call, for this community.
Since Hayman, Kevin and other West Metro firefighters have stepped up a campaign to create defensible space. The effort is a partnership with the Roxborough Park Fire Mitigation Committee, made up of volunteer homeowners. One major achievement of the committee was getting Roxborough Park designated as a Firewise community. That means there's an approved plan for reducing the flammable fuels, improving the evacuation routes, and mobilizing all available firefighting resources. The goal is to make this a safer place to live without sacrificing the park's natural beauty. Here's that approved plan. It's called the Community Wildfire Protection Plan for Roxborough Park, and it was written by Keith Worley. As a professional forester hired by the Fire Mitigation Committee, Keith teaches classes for homeowners about Firewise landscaping. During this training exercise, Keith can see the defensible space effort is paying off.
Hearing some great comments from the firefighters as they're walking by, pointing out just great examples of, oh yeah, look at that one, no problem kind of stuff.
But he adds the job's not finished.
It was a pilot project, and there's still a long way to go and a lot of maintenance to do, but they're making good progress.
Emergency evacuation routes are now properly signed. Also, this helpful evacuation guide was prepared by the Fire Mitigation Committee and distributed to all homeowners. But here is perhaps the most important development. This new road could actually prevent hundreds from being trapped.
There are many residents in the South who would have no way out except on this road.
Dick Hart is chairman of the Fire Mitigation Committee. He explains the new road is an emergency egress easement, or EEE.
Constructed so that the people in the south part of Roxborough residential area can evacuate to the south should the north evacuation routes not be available to them.
The EEE is 3.7 miles long from the southern boundary of Roxborough Park to the Indian Creek subdivision. The road has an all-weather surface, but it's not paved.
It's emergency use only, not for recreational use, even by pedestrians or bicycles.
Funded by Douglas County, the EEE also opens up a way for emergency vehicles to enter the southern end of Roxborough Park. Additionally, it gives neighboring communities to the south a new evacuation route.
Hi, how you doing? All right, how are you? Good. Can you get your last name, please?
O'Brien, O-B-R-I-E-N.
During the training exercise, dozens of households join the Hines family and participate in this evacuation drill. According to plan, everybody reassembles at a nearby elementary school.
This paper is for you to keep, and this one you turn back into the bag.
See here?
Yeah, right there.
Thank you.
If everything was going to run perfectly, we wouldn't need to run an exercise.
For Fran, the emergency management boss, it's a teaching moment, because some here remember what it was like to evacuate during Hayman.
This is kind of deja vu. You've been here before. You kind of understand what the reality is, but you've got a lot of new neighbors in Roxborough Park that have never been through that experience. So you folks are going to be my ambassadors to Roxborough on how important it is to really be aware of being prepared to be able to do an evacuation.
Roxborough Park is a special place to call home. But with these grassy hillsides and tree-covered slopes comes the risk of wildfire. Eliminating this threat is impossible, but it has been reduced as a Firewise community.